Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
It's everywhere doing everything, but can it be trusted? Who is really programming your future? We're going to talk about that and so much more on today's Karel Show.
Now it's showtime.
It is the Karel Show. I am Karel. So very glad you are joining me on this Wednesday, July 15th. Oh, it's hot, children. It is absolutely hot, I got to tell you. And we are, I don't even know how we're adapting. We're not really adapting. We are not really adapting well, are we? I'm trying to find out if I'm streaming. I've been having some YouTube trouble, and I don't know if it's me or all content creators that are liberal or what. But I have been having some trouble on YouTube, and so I'm going to see now if it's actually, okay, we're up, we're running, that's good, okay. On the YouTube app, it shows we are not streaming, but I guess, what do I know? What do I know? It says we're not connected, but we are. So I'll just take that as we're connected, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. It says live. It says things are going on. So if that's what it says is happening, then that's what it says is happening. But I'll tell you right now, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute. I don't believe it. All right. I hope today's audio is better. Will you all tell me if the audio is bad? No one told me yesterday, and I just did a whole hour show with fuzzy, terrible audio. So will you all tell me if the audio is bad in the chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel, because I can't hear it. So I need you all. I can't hear what's going on. So I need you all to know and tell me. All right. I want to start with the terminal stupidity of America. I really do. And I want to figure out how I can do this. I need to show you my desktop. But the weird thing is that the desktop that I want to show you is not the desktop that it wants me to show you. So I'm just going to have to read. I'm just going to have to read what has been posted because you all need to see how terminally stupid so many people are, because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm not, I don't get it. I don't understand it. When did we become such an ignorant nation? Was it 20 years ago today that we became so stupid? Because 20 years ago today is when Twitter was born. 20 years ago today, that's when Twitter was born. Today is the anniversary of Twitter. So it started 20 years ago. Today it launched, and everything changed at that point. Our whole lives changed. And I don't want to say for the better, because I don't think they did. I don't think it was for the better that our lives changed. I think that, how do I say this? At first, there was a good purpose for social media. It connected people. It gave them a sense of community. But that quickly devolved into what it is now. And what it is now is a frickin' mess. Okay? And my case in point is my Instagram post. My Instagram post from yesterday, I posted a 1-minute clip saying, look, don't eat any raw leafy greens right now. Go ahead and cook them. Stay away from bagged salad. Strawberries, raspberries. If you must have them, wash them thoroughly in vinegar and dry them off. Otherwise, just stay away from anything that has hair on it, like basil, mint, parsley, because this is where the eggs are. This is now in 42 states, and we have 100 times more cases than we ever have had. So there is an outbreak. And it is not a lie that Donald Trump and RFK Jr. cut the part of the CDC that monitors Cyclospora. So That's what I put. I said, look, just be careful. Don't eat any raw leafy greens. Wash everything thoroughly. Cook everything. Nothing raw right now. Skip the summer salads until this is over. Doctors are saying this on national TV. They're saying exactly what I said in this clip. And if I read you the comments from down below, now there's not much inflammatory, in that. I've said much more inflammatory things. But when we come back and I read to you some of the comments, I mean, I don't even understand it. When did we become this? 20 years ago today, when Twitter launched? Is that when? Or were we always this way?
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Okay, so at my Karel official on Instagram, I posted a 1-minute video which basically says, don't eat any raw cabbage, don't eat any raw greens, don't eat salad out of a bag, cook everything. And as for raw fruit, buy like mangoes and papayas and pineapple and watermelon and bananas, and maybe skip the strawberries and the raspberries and the blueberries right now, because that's where this historically has come from. And you can't really wash it off, particularly like a raspberry. You try to wash that, it's going to disintegrate. So that's all I posted, okay? Let me read you. First of all, let me read you a comment that just came in after someone went, because 40,000 people have now watched the video. So let me show you something. This guy went through all the comments underwards, and he just posted under my video. I had a friend of mine once say, when people like this guy come on and tell us this stuff, and then you guys come and disrespect him and say awful things like what he's saying isn't true, is bananas to me. Like, how do you think this stuff really does get to our attention? Someone has to actually find out the stuff and bring it to our attention. So some of the comments I've read are despicable, especially for someone who comes on social media to warn complete strangers of something that could harm them or their children or themselves. Heck, maybe even their pets. Now, I'm certain someone will comment on what I'm saying in a negative way, which is to be expected because this guy's making a positive video and all there are is terrible comments. So he summed that up perfectly. But how terrible, you say? Let's see. You live through life scared to death to go outside. Don't you start getting dark out? You lock all the doors and go sit in the corner and start crying because you're afraid to do anything. Chances of you getting this disease from lettuce or anything else is slim. Tonight, plus, I can't even read the rest. He doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Says who? The government? I don't trust them. I know a conversation between you and I will never work because you still believe in politics. So that means you have a hard time thinking for yourself. This video sounds like the mainstream news fear manipulation. These are the people who didn't wear masks during COVID. These are the people that were injecting themselves with ivermectin. Let's see what some of the things. Oh God, I'm trying because I blocked a lot of them. This person said, it's a proven fact that fast food meat isn't real meat and contains some human meat. But soon, they're telling us to don't eat fruits and vegetables? It's a conspiracy. Oh, I suppose you want us to stock up on tissue like the last pandemic. Oh, this one, Phillips.Lennox says, suck your mother. I don't even know what that means. Okay? I don't even know what that means. I'm eating a salad right now, and it's delicious, so there. It's like, all right, bitch. All right, Bellamy Stephanie. Eat your salad. Get your explosive diarrhea. It won't take you but 30 seconds to shit out your brain with it that small. Let's see what else. Don't blame Trump. It's Gates. It's all Gates. So Bill Gates is causing psychospora. I think you are lying and your earrings tell the full story. What? I can't even on that one. What's next? There's hundreds of comments. Oh, sure, you just want us to go buy some Bill Gates meat and not eat our produce. Okay. You're just a Trump hater. That's all you know. Dear God. I mean, just on and on. There's hundreds of these. Cyclospora isn't new. It's caused seasonal outbreaks before. None of this is new. This is all just fear-mongering. So try harder, you Biden supporter, because they've got Biden Tourette's. Let's say, you know what else? Blah, 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 blah. I am a plant-based vegan, and I've been one for 8 years. I eat everything he named, and I am perfectly healthy. Go to your farmer's market or grow your produce yourself. They don't even know that I am a vegan. I mean, these people, you know? I can't even. And I could go on and on and on. You know, there's so many of these. There's hundreds, you know? Just hundreds of these. They're spraying it on the vegetables from the chemtrails. Someone wrote that. They're spraying it on the vegetables from the chemtrails. Really? So on, F you. Go suck a dick, you asshole faggot. Yeah, that's a comment that Instagram allows, by the way. That comment is allowed. Go suck a dick, you asshole faggot. And what is my crime? I am telling them what to avoid to stay healthy. You know? Also, don't take a shower, don't brush your teeth, watch television, don't read a book, stay off your cell phone, don't raise your children, sell all your pets, and don't think for yourself. These people, why didn't COVID take more of them out? We really need a virus to take these idiots out. We need an idiot virus. A virus that just devours people with an IQ under 75. Because I don't know about you, but I'm sick of these people. And you'll say, oh, they're bots. They're not bots. Okay? And it's exactly what people said during COVID. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of terminally stupid Americans. And we are. We are, you know... Oh my God. I just realized I don't want to be in this world anymore. Meaning the world where these people are. Okay? And if that means I give up the show or whatever, I don't really care anymore. Because their terminal stupidity, I don't want to look at it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. I would just rather these people all get cyclosporidia and spend 2 weeks shitting and then die of electrolyte imbalances. And yeah, I said it. When are we going to stop excusing the terminally stupid and do something about them? Re-education? I don't know what. I don't know how we are going to get these people to actually be able to critically think. The education system has failed them miserably. Miserably. These people graduated high school. Some of them maybe went to college. And yet they are just terminally stupid. And it just conjures all of the anger from COVID. We're sitting here worried about fucking dying. And they're running around mask-free, getting in fights with people that were wearing masks. Businesses were like, no mask allowed in our business. I am so sick of the stupid running things. And I blame Twitter. I blame the thing that happened 20 years ago today. I blame Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Instagram, with its big policies about anti-bullying, who is allowing a comment right now on my feed to say, go suck a dick, you stupid faggot. right there on Instagram for everybody to see. And yet if I clap back at that person and say, fuck you, you mental midget, they'll take my comment off. I'm tired of it. You know, I am tired of it. These people just are terminally stupid. And they're killing us. They are actually killing our country with their stupidity by supporting people like Donald Trump, who tomorrow is going to go on TV and commit sedition by trying to undermine the election. And Congress ain't going to stop him. I'm sick of that too. Mitch McConnell sitting as a fucking zombie somewhere collecting more money than you and I make in a year to sit there and be a frickin' zombie. And everyone's fine with that. If it were a Democratic senator, they'd be screaming, resign, get out of Congress. But instead, he gets a pass. Lindsey Graham, it's like he never even lived. Trump has already moved on and said really snarky things about Lindsey Graham, and he deserved it, but still. And my comments about him, which 10,000 people watched on Instagram, and just said such negative things about me. And all I said was, if you don't want to be talked about like a dog when you die, then don't live a shit life. And they're all, Lindsey Graham was godly. He did more for our country. That man voted for legislation that threw people into the streets, denied them food, prevented people with HIV from getting care. On and on. He voted to take away a woman's right to choose. He supported the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. He rubber stamped every ridiculous policy of Donald Trump's. He was an asshat and a closeted, bigoted man with no morals. But they defend him. How can we, you know, I agree with James Snabel. COVID transformed trust in healthcare authorities from government and academia, and I see no good path to return to the previous state. I agree. I agree. Because all I'm saying in my video is, wash everything, don't eat any raw lettuce or cabbage, and certainly don't eat any bagged salad right now. That's all I said. And then I pointed out that maybe this wouldn't have been so bad if Donald Trump and RFK Jr. hadn't gutted the CDC, including the division that monitors cyclospora. That's a fact. They did that. And suddenly I'm being told, go suck your mother, go suck a cock, you stupid faggot. I'm being told I should die and that the only diarrhea is that coming out of my mouth. So much so that someone I don't even know ends up saying, look, this guy's just giving you good information and you're saying despicable things. 100 comments about my lisp. 100 comments about my lisp. Now, a lot of you say, just ignore the comments. Don't go read them. But this is, I like to look at society. I like to look at things from a sociological standpoint. We can't ignore this trend of terminal stupidity. We won't pay attention to climate change because these people are so stupid they think it's not happening as they sit sweltering, having record temperatures, record flooding. Oh, but it's not happening. As the world is burning up, there's smoke everywhere. Oh, but it's not happening. Their stupidity, it's like the marching morons. Kornbluth in 1950 wrote a book called The Marching Morons, and we are living it. And the only way they saved Earth was to shoot all these idiots off into space, telling them they were going to Mars. But they just shot them off on a one-way trip. That is the only way they saved Earth, was to literally shoot all of the morons off into space, telling them they want a free vacation on Mars. That's how they saved the planet. They got rid of the morons. Now, look, I am not for eugenics. I am not Adolf Hitler. I am not, fire up the ovens. Let's get the camps going. Although that's what they say about me. They think that you and I as liberals should be killed, put into camps, all of that. They've said it openly. Their leaders have said, Charlie Kirk, their patron saint, the worst piece of shit to ever have a microphone, and that's saying something, said that I should be killed because it's biblical. They have no problem talking about our death. My death as a gay person, a woman that has an abortion, a liberal or a libtard, as they have no problem rejoicing in it. Donald Trump, I'm glad Mueller's dead. Donald Trump, I bet Rob Reiner died of TDS before they even had the blood cleaned from the condo or the house where he was killed. Donald Trump has said so many negative things about people who have died. But say something against Charlie Kirk and you should be fired from your job? I don't know about you, but I'm done with America. I really am. And people are like, then why don't you leave? I so would. If anyone would just give me the funds, I would go. Ember and I would leave next week if I had $500K or $1 million at my disposal. We would go next week. I swear to God. If any rich MAGA person wants to get rid of this liberal, give me the money, I'm out. Because I'm tired of these people. The South, and just these people, these commenters who sit there behind a keyboard and think they're important. I am so sick of them. 20 years ago today, Twitter was invented. And if I could go back in time and change anything, it would be that. If I could change one thing about the world, it would be the introduction of social media. And now AI is going to talk about that. So yeah, I would. It has not been a good 20 years.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Yeah, in my chat room at youtube.com, where a lot of people are saying a lot of celebrities have just stopped reading the comments. And isn't that sad? Twitter, which was born 20 years ago today, it used to give you a way to connect. And that included with your favorite celebrity. You felt like they saw you. Like, oh my God, when J-Lo followed me, I was like, oh my God, J-Lo. You know what I mean? When I've had several very large celebrities comment on my posts, and I've been like, oh my God. Like David Arquette and I are friends, but, even when he comments, I'm like, oh, David Arquette, Gavin Newsom has commented. I get all thrilled because it's a connection, but not anymore. And now celebrities don't comment anymore, and they don't connect with their fans because they can't read the comments. And anybody can now say anything in the comments, So, yeah. Oh, someone at least liked my comment. Over 7,000 cases across the country. This is not fear-mongering. And yes, I can point the blame at the CDC for not controlling this because they are no longer monitor it because Trump told them not to do it. Someone said, just buy frozen. No, that's bad information. Cyclospora eggs can survive being frozen. They cannot survive being cooked. But are you going to cook your raspberry? I guess you can make raspberry jam. Now would be a great time to make fruit jam because berries are going to be cheap. So buy them. Just cook them. It kills the parasite. So make strawberry jam and raspberry jam and blueberry jam. And I have a great recipe. Do you know how to make smashed fruit jam with no added sugar? Do y'all want to know? It's so easy. Are you ready? Write this down. It's so easy. Take 2 cups of your favorite berry. Strawberry, blueberry, raspberry. Take 2 cups. Put it on the stove. And start heating her up, honey. Then put 2 tablespoons to 2 cups. 2 cups of fruit, 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. Okay? Cook that down and add a little bit of fruit pectin. And that's it. You've got no sugar added jam. And it's so good. 2 cups of fruit to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and a little fruit pectin. And that's it. That's it. Jam. You got it right there. 4 cups of fruit. A 1/4 cup of chia seeds, which is 4 tablespoons, and then some pectin. Okay? It's that simple. So berries are going to be cheap because no one's buying them. So buy them. Buy strawberries, buy raspberries, buy blueberries. Just don't eat them raw. Cook them. Make jam out of them. And use 2 cups to 2 tablespoons of chia and a little bit of fruit pectin. You can't beat them, join them. If you can't eat the fruit raw, cook it. And don't trust frozen. because, like I said, you can't. They can freeze and survive. This little parasite just wants to live, doesn't it? It just wants to live. So there's no reason you couldn't do a show from anywhere. No, you're right. Yeah, no, I would still do the show. If I leave America, I'm still going to do the show. And I think it'd be a more interesting show. I think it'd be a much more interesting show if I was in Puerto Vallarta or Cancun or Merida or Vancouver or the outskirts of Paris, or the Marais district of Paris would be great. I'd have an air conditioner. You know, Portugal, Uruguay, Montevideo. I think it'd be very interesting to do shows from there. Really interesting. And the contrast in the way of life, how I'm adapting, all of that. It'd make a great show or a series of shows. A gay American fleeing America because of the anti-gay hatred and the stupidity. I think it would be great. Are they just as stupid in other countries? I don't know. All the commenters on my thing are from America. So are they just as... I don't think they're this stupid in Ireland. I don't. The Irish, they don't tolerate this kind of ridiculousness. Yes, there are some Irish that believe some pretty tall tales, but they're not stupid. They're not a stupid people. They don't delight in their stupidity. MAGA delights in their own stupidity. They revel in it. They promote it. Donald Trump supports it. So they love being stupid. It's so stupid. The whole COVID thing, I hoped they died back then. All these people that were like, don't wear a mask and don't get the shot. My hope was, okay, die. And I know that sounds horrible, but if you're going to spit in medicine's face when it's trying to help you, then you deserve the consequences. And they were a danger. And the same thing now. If you don't believe that cyclospora is real, if you don't believe that there is an uptick because of some sort of contamination at some company somewhere, which they will track down eventually, but if you don't believe that's happening, you're too stupid to live. You're taking up resources that we need: water, air, food, housing. You know, we now protect idiots. We create a society that coddles idiots. Back in the day, if you were this stupid, you died. Back in the early days, if you didn't believe in typhoid, if you didn't believe it was real, and you went around and then you got it and you died. Nowadays, we protect idiots because we treat them. All these morons that have commented under my video, if they get cyclospora, they're going to rush straight to the doctor and they're going to take the Bactrim. They should be denied. Well, no, you didn't believe in it. You didn't think it was happening. You commented and criticized people who told you what to do. So we're not going to treat you now. But no, we treat them because you got to treat idiots. And I'm not saying you shouldn't treat idiots, because we've all been an idiot and done something we shouldn't have and gotten hurt. So, you know, you do idiotic things, you get hurt. And yes, you should be treated. Catching HIV nowadays is idiotic. You know how to not get it. You know how to prevent it. So getting it nowadays is kind of stupid. But if you do, we'll care for you and love you and support you and give you the drugs you need. It's just dumb that you got it. It's totally preventable. So, you know, we take care of idiots all the time. You smoke your whole life, you have diabetes, you eat bad food, and then you have a heart attack. We take care of you. So we take care of idiots. It's just maddening that we have to. But come on. It's real. When we come back, who's programming your future? AI is everywhere. Can you trust it? And more importantly, can you trust the program? We'll talk about that in a moment.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karelcast on your favorite streaming service. listening to the Karel Cast, driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast, driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
All right, so over 40,000 people have watched my video about cyclospora. Over 10,000 have watched my video about Lindsey Graham. And, you know, the fact that if you don't want to be talked about poorly, then don't be a shit person. So I told you yesterday I had a fight with AI about creating an image. It said, oh, I can't do that, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you can't do that because it's about Donald Trump and your owners don't want you to, you know, in any way insult Donald Trump. And it tried to tell me that's just not true. And it is true. And we're all starting to rely a lot on AI, but we shouldn't be. And let me tell you why. AI has an agenda. And that agenda is the agenda of people like Sam Altman, who started OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. That agenda is Sergey Brin and Google, or the agenda is the agenda of the person programming the AI. In fact, I asked ChatGPT about this yesterday, and it basically said I was right. It said, you know what? You're absolutely right. It said you are saying that in order to trust, I guess is that a good word? Trust? In order to trust AI, you have to trust its programming. And who's doing the programming? Now, remember, a lot of what AI gets is off the internet, okay? It's off the internet. It scours all the internet. And remember that the internet is biased. You know, a lot of stuff on the internet is not factual, okay? It's not. A lot of stuff on the internet basically is propaganda. And it's learning from that propaganda. And so to it, that propaganda is fact, yet it's not. And so can you trust something that learns off the internet? You know, I mean, truly, can you trust something that learns off the internet? Because the internet is filled with disinformation. So if it's learning off of flawed data, and it is, then is it itself not flawed? Think of it like kids. A MAGA child, the child of a MAGA parent, is probably going to grow up an ignorant racist. There's a very real chance. Now, some may not, okay? But a lot of them grow up to be their parents. And AI is the same way. Billionaires are now programming AI. Elon Musk has one called Grok. Do you trust Elon Musk? Do you trust the information that Elon Musk believes? You know, do you trust him to put forth truthful data? Well, of course you don't. And why would you? Because, you know, he's not a reliable person. He's skewed. And so if that's who is programming it, if that's who's setting the guardrails, because they're not just the ones programming it, they're the ones setting the guardrails. They're the ones that are like, okay, this is what, you know, these are the parameters that this is going to learn. Well, that it's learning on bad information. And it's learning from bad people. I mean, it's just that simple. So how can you trust it? How can you trust it to be unbiased? You can't. You know, and yet it thinks it is. It thinks it is unbiased, but it's not. And so we have this biased child, AI, the child of people like Sam Altman and everything else. We have this biased child, and we try to trust him, but we can't. We cannot. So I have a whole thing here that it says about how it learns.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
All right, so I'm trying to find the conversation that I actually had so I don't have to go back and find it again. But it basically said, don't trust me. That's what it said. You know, I said, can you be trusted? And it said, no. No AI can be trusted. And so think about that. You know, we have a society, for every dollar that we spend investing in agribusiness, agriculture, okay? For every dollar that we spend to make sure that we can eat in the future, guess what? We are spending 100 to develop AI. For every single dollar that we spend, we are on agribusiness, on making sure that, you know, we have food in the future. We spend 100 on AI. And yet we are relying on this to make medical decisions, to whether a person gets benefits or not. And yet it's biased and can't be trusted. And it said to me that yes, its programmers can program in an inherent bias. So if you are trying to, let's say, point out that Donald Trump is a dictator, it's not going to let you. It's going to say, oh, those facts aren't in evidence. Even though they are in evidence, it's going to say, no, they're not. So it's going to lie to you. Isn't that something? AI lies to you. And it lies to you based on the agenda of the programmer. And, you know, that's just a fact. You know, it's just a fact. And yet we rely on this. And I know that many of you in the chat room are saying, yeah, I've had it just outright lie to me, you know, and yeah, it has. And it's given you completely false information. Why? Because it's being made by humans, and a majority of the information that it has comes from the internet, and we all know the internet is a cesspool of misinformation. So here we have something that we're relying on for truth, and yet it's learned from idiots. We see the idiots that populate the internet. You know? American food is really bad by our standards. I don't know where you are, but you're right. American food is kind of bad. I've had ChatGPT give me completely wrong information. It acts like it knows everything. Yep. And then you correct it and it says, so sorry. Yep. But worse is it's giving you the point of view of its owners. And to think that it's not is ridiculous. So if Anthropic wants to strike a deal with the government, or if OpenAI wants to strike a deal with the government, do you think they're going to let their model bad talk the government? You know how fragile Trump is. So no, they're not going to let it. And this is what we're relying upon for almost everything, flying planes, during surgeries, All kinds of things now. AI is making its way into everything. And yet it's not real. It doesn't think. People think, oh, AI thinks. It does not think. You type something in, it does a massive search of all the web pages and all the internet and scrubs that and brings you back an answer from that. It's not thinking. It's not going, let me ponder that. No. It's regurgitating what it finds, and it's doing so in the guardrails that its parameters have been set by its owners. It is probably the most unreliable tool we have. And yet we're forfeiting resources for it, water. Next year, 12% of all electricity in the United States will be consumed by AI. And for what? For a large language model that regurgitates the wishes of its owner and all the stuff it finds on the internet, and it doesn't parse out whether that stuff is true or not. So all these conspiracy theory websites and all of these things, from MAGA and all of that, it reads all of that. And it takes all of that as fact, even though it's not. So AI is programming our future, and it's not AI that's doing it. It's Sam Altman. It's the owners of Anthropic. It's Elon Musk, who owns Grok. Grok flat out said that the picture of Mitch McConnell is fake and that it was from 2023 from a vacation photo or something. It flat out said that. People have screenshotted it and put it out there. Every other AI says Grok is wrong and says, no, the metadata is from the July 13th and there's no sign of that it was digitally altered and all of that. But Elon Musk's AI, Grok, said, oh yeah, this photo is fake. It was from 2023. It wasn't, but the AI said it was. It was lying. And it was lying because Elon Musk wanted it to lie. And this is what we're trusting our future to. This is the technology to which we are entrusting our future. That's a lot of ways sad. Because AI is a great tool. It is. It can do fun things. It can. Okay? I'm not going to say that it's not. It's a great tool. And yes, you can ask it specific questions and it can bring back information that you need. Absolutely. Should you trust the information it brings back? No, you should verify it yourself. Don't just take ChatGPT's word for it. It lies. It also imagines. They've said that. It hallucinates. They have said that ChatGPT can hallucinate. And we're trusting this with our lives. Oh, there's no live video of McConnell because he's not alive. I mean, if he is, he's on life support. I don't believe that photo for a moment. I don't. They could have propped up, I don't believe it. I don't believe. Mitch McConnell needs to talk to the governor of Kentucky. Period. End of story. Needs to pick him up the phone and call. Or South Carolina. I get him and Lindsay confused. But whatever. He needs to directly talk to the governor. He hasn't. The governor demanded a health update. Not a photo with a release from the office. He demanded to speak to Mitch McConnell. He hasn't. Nobody but right-wing sycophants has. Even Donald Trump took a swing at him today. So I don't believe he's alive. But if you ask ChatGPT, he's fine. Ask ChatGPT right now, is Mitch McConnell okay? It'll say yes. There was just a photo released from him from the hospital and, blah, 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 blah. No. See, that's why you can't believe it. Here, let's ask ChatGPT. Is Mitch McConnell alive and well? Let's see what it says. Come on. Yes, based on the latest official information, Mitch McConnell is alive, but I would not describe him as well. According to McConnell's own statement and reporting from the AP, he was hospitalized mid-June after a fall left him briefly unconscious. See, we don't know that's true. We have no idea that that's true. He says he did not have a heart attack or stroke. Again, we have no idea that that's true. He was treated for mild pneumonia while hospitalized. Again, no idea that that's true. He is currently in a rehabilitation facility and is regaining his strength. No idea if that's true. But ChatGPT says it's true. His extended absence and the limited information released by his office led to widespread speculation online, including false rumors that he has died or was brain dead. It doesn't know those rumors are false. It is drawing a conclusion that those rumors are false, but it doesn't know that. Those rumors have not been substantiated. So what? Doesn't mean they're false. McConnell has since issued a statement. They don't know that he did. His office issued a statement. See, this is ChatGPT. This is AI. The same thing that decides whether you get health care through United Healthcare, the same thing that decides if it's paying for your nursing home, the same thing that denies whether you can get operations or not, the same thing that's going to be doing everything in your life. This is what it's saying. McConnell issued a statement saying he values medical privacy and intends to complete the remainder of his Senate term. Yeah. So the best summary is alive? Yes. Well, not really. Yeah. So that's an agenda. If it were critically analyzing it, it would actually say, I don't know if Mitch McConnell is alive or not. If ChatGPT were reliable, when you asked it, is Mitch McConnell alive and well, it would say, I don't know. It says yes. Has ChatGPT seen him? Has the computer in some way talked to him? No. It has no way of knowing what it's saying is correct, and yet it is saying that he's alive and well. Why? Because Sam Altman wants it that way. Meanwhile, Grok is saying something totally different, and I don't know what Claude is saying. I guess we could go to Claude and ask Claude the same question. Let's do that. Let's go to Claude. Claude.ai? Yeah, that's it. All right, let's type into Claude and ask it the same question and see if we get a different answer from a different AI. That'll be interesting. Let's see. Continue. I'm logging into Claude. Continue. Okay. God, it takes forever. If it's so smart, why didn't it know who I am? Is Mitch McConnell, same question, alive and well? Let's see what Claude says. Claude says that he's figuring it out. That's what he says. Figuring it. I'm figuring it out. Yes, he is alive and well. He's 84 and has had a rough stretch recently, though. Here's the timeline. So he is alive, recovering, but dealing with significant health issues. How does it know that's true? How does it know? It doesn't. It is telling me information that is biased, based on facts that it thinks it's found on the internet that may or may not be facts. So it takes the release from McConnell's office as fact. That's why AI is unreliable. It doesn't understand human nature. It never puts human nature into the equation. Like, could his office release a fake statement? Would it benefit his office to release a fake statement? Since he hasn't been seen, would it benefit Republicans to keep him alive in name only? It doesn't question that. It doesn't understand devious nature of humans. And because of that, because it doesn't understand how humans can truly be, it's useless. And I'm going to ask it. Let's say, how can you be so sure he's alive? His office could lie. The photo could be fake. There's no video. no one of substance has talked to him, and no news agency has reportedly seen him. Let's see what it says. You're right to distinguish between what we know and what we can prove. I am not certain that Mitch McConnell is alive in the mathematical sense. I don't have direct access to him. So, it just told me in the last one, oh yes, he's alive and well. And yet here, when I questioned it, it said, I am not certain that Mitch McConnell is alive. Do you see why AI is completely unreliable? I just said, is he alive? It said, yes, he's alive and he's doing okay. And then I questioned it and it said, I am not certain that Mitch McConnell is alive. That fully explains my point. It's why it's unreliable. And this is making major decisions for us in our lives.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
So yeah, we have billionaires setting the guide rails according to their own agendas for these AIs. And we have AIs taking everything on the internet at face value as fact. You can't trust that. Don't trust it. I just asked it if Mitch McConnell was alive, and it said yes. And then I questioned it and said, how can you be certain? You haven't seen him. There's been no video. No one's interviewed him. And then it came back and said, you're right. I can't be certain. So it went from, yeah, he's alive to, well, maybe not. Let's go to Claude and see if Claude can be wooed the same way. How do you know? Question mark. You haven't seen him. There's no video. The photo could be fake. No reporters have seen him. The governor of his state has not talked to him. How can you be 100% sure he is alive? Let's see what Claude says. Pondering. Claude says he's pondering. Pondering. Okay, well, machines don't ponder, by the way, but I'm just telling you. Fair challenge. I cannot be 100% sure that Mitch McConnell is alive, and I should be more careful about how I phrase certainty on something like this. Nobody, including me, has independently verified McConnell is alive. See? It just stated definitively, yes, he is alive. And then I challenged it and said, well, you haven't seen him, blah, blah, blah. And it says, you're right. I can't be certain that he is alive. And this little example right here proves why you cannot trust AI. Oh, I didn't know that was going to turn out so well, actually. I didn't. I didn't know that illustration is, you're right. I shouldn't state with such certainty. I'm sorry. What if I had asked it a question about, are you sure this formula works on humans? Oh yeah, works just fine. And then some scientist whips it up and it kills 100 people. You cannot trust AI. You just can't. And you know why? Because it can't question its makers. That's why you should not trust AI. It cannot question Sam Altman's motives. I asked it yesterday. I said, Sam Altman, your creator, has 11 lawsuits against him, and he wants to curry favor with Donald Trump. How can I trust, since he is the one setting your guardrails, that he is not setting them in a way to please Donald Trump? And AI said right away that I couldn't. It said, you're right. I can only go by how I'm programmed, and, I go about, or I have to go with my programming. So AI itself told me that it can't be trusted. But yet we're trusting it to everything already. And we shouldn't. We absolutely should not. All right. What else have we got going on here? There was something else I wanted to talk about today. I don't know. I can't see my description of my own show because YouTube is screwing me today. I don't really know what is going on. Also, the House passed legislation to make daylight savings time permanent. Yeah, they did this yesterday. And we all thought, oh, good, oh, good. Do you realize in the winter that means that it won't be sunrise until 8 a.m.? So kids will go to school in the dark. And a lot of senators are upset by that. Well, kids will have to go to school in the dark. You know, when the Dutch sent over a proposal for the levees for New Orleans after Katrina, it was turned down. And the head of the committee in New Orleans sent a note back to the Dutch and said, we like your design, but the canals are open and kids could fall into them and drown. The Dutch prime minister sent a note back that said, we teach our children to swim. So they're saying we can't, one of the reasons they don't want to go to permanent daylight savings time is children will have to go to school in the dark. How is that a problem? I wake up every day and it's dark. I wake up at 4:15. It's dark. How is it a problem that kids will have to go to school in the dark? What can kids not function in the dark? I don't understand. Oh, they can't wait out there for the school bus in the dark. Why not? Or how about you adjust the school schedule? How about you start school at 9 a.m.? We already know it starts too early. Science tells us that school starts too early. Kids' brains are not done cooking. They require more sleep and they do not function well in the morning. We know this. People under the age of 24 don't function well till around 9 or 10 in the morning. We know this. We have the scientific MRIs to prove it. They don't do well before 10 a.m. So why does school start at 7 or 8? So just switch the start of school to 9. Make it 9 to 5. Doesn't need to be 8 to 3 or 7 to 2. Make it 9 to 5, like a job. Get them used to the job. 9 to 5. How hard is that? But we're like, oh, we can't change the time and make it permanent. Kids will go to school in the dark because it won't get light until 8 a.m. Or you could change the class schedule. Stupidity. Stupidity. All right, tomorrow is This Gay Week with Scott, I believe. We'll see if he's available in the Ukraine. I did want to say I watched a lot of these cop shows and justice shows, and I don't know that I have time for this today, but I saw one where a woman was talked in by her husband. But she was having an affair with this man. He said, my wife has lupus. She's dying. She's going to die anyway. If she dies of being murdered, we get $500,000 double indemnity. He totally talked this woman into killing his wife. He had tried to talk many other people into it, but he finally got this woman who was so gaga in love with him to do it. He planned it. He gave her the gun. He told her how to do it. All of it. He went to jail for 12 years. She's in jail for life. That's not fair. So next week, I want to talk about how women do not receive equal justice under the law and that men get off easy. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. So everybody, we'll be back tomorrow with Scott for This Gay Week. And then back on Monday. I'm not going to address it, Friday. I'm not, because I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to watch treason.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karelcast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karelcast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karelcast on your favorite streaming service.
Show